Hello everyone and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, Rakdos Tempo. So I've found this deck that I think is very interesting because it's not the traditional Rakdos deck that seems to be more control-y in a lot of respects. Back in the days when we had, what is that called? A Bankbuster, we had Invoke Despair, we had the Fabled Mirror Breaker. It has a very slow sort of, well, the deck is not slow, but it has a very sort of drawn out plan. In the early game, you have all of these super value cards that request a 2-for-1, 3-for-1 sometimes, and then it comes out with a Invoke Despair that was always a 3-for-1. Either we make our opponent sacrifice something or we draw a card, right? So that card was insane, and it had that kind of a mid-range to control style of play where you definitely had a better time in the late game. However, now that those cards are banned, Rakdos has been struggling to find its place. The original Rakdos deck is still not bad, but there are a lot of cards, a lot of decks in the current meta that just outshine it. But I found this deck that looks to be interesting. So it does pretty much the same thing that the old Rakdos deck tried to do, but instead of Invoke Despair, it curves off with Chandra. Chandra, the double spellcaster. That looks to be fun, and we don't really have that many spells. Every time you play Chandra, you're assuming that you have a big, sort of a flashy spell you want to copy twice, like Breach the Multiverse, or even Invoke Despair, right? But we don't have any of that. What we do have, to sort of a flair, is Gix Command, but you don't really want to copy Gix Command because you don't get to choose new modes. What do you want to do? You want to copy Infernal Grasp? You want to copy Abrade? You want to copy Go for the Throat? Yeah. Or if you have a lot of mana and you have nothing else to do, copy a Light of the Night. That is kind of the idea of the deck, but the rest of the deck is pretty much the old Rakdos shell with a lot of good sort of mid-rangey creature and then full removal. So in the early game, let me move this aside for now. In the early game, we have 4 cut down, of course, to remove our opponent's creatures, and 2 Duress to make sure that our opponent, if they're playing counter spells, are gonna have a bad time. Then we have 3 Go for the Throw and 1 Infernal Grasp, just to get around what I've seen a lot of, Skrelv. People turn 1 Skrelv, I don't have cut down, I have Go for the Throw, it's a dead card. They play another creature, I could Go for the Throw, Skrelv's on the board, it's a dead card still. So that's why Infernal Grasp is in the deck, along with 3 Abrades. 3, count that. We gotta kill artifacts, we gotta deal 3 damage, we have a lot of early game removal. And then we have 4 Bloodtithe Harvester. Bloodtithe Harvester itself is a removal, but what it's also good at is the Blood token. If we're playing against a deck we don't need that many removal off, the Blood token can help us discard it and get a better card. Loots are always appreciated. And then we have 4 Graveyard Trespasser. I've always been talking about how great Graveyard Trespasser is, so I'm not going to stop. It's just an amazing card all around. It has good synergy against, or it has good sort of answer against every deck, and it synergizes very well with this deck. So, if our opponent is aggro, well, we can exile creatures and graveyards to gain life. If our opponent is mid-rangey, it's a big body, it's a good blocker, it's a 3 mana, potentially 4/4, and if our opponent's control, well, they gotta pay the ward of discarding a card in order to target it. So it asks for a 2-for-1 in a lot of scenarios. Then we have the 4-drop. Now with 4-drop we have Sheoldred, 4-off, of course, but we also have 3 Archfiend of the Dross. This card makes it look like we're aggroing our opponent, and it's a pretty big body, right? So it's 4 mana, 6/6 on the board. Our opponent really has to answer it, otherwise it goes in for 6 damage every turn. That's really a lot of damage. And if our opponent doesn't answer it, and it doesn't seem that we can close after, three turns or so, well, we can always Light Up the Night and close up the damage that way. We have Gix Command, make our opponent sacrifice creatures, get +1/+1 lifelinks, all those good stuff. And then, I'm not going to say all the modes, but everyone knows what Gix Command does at this point. We have 3 Chandra, Hope's Beacon. Just 3, not 4, because I have 4, I think I have 4. Yeah, I have 4, but that's not the problem. The problem is you don't want too many Chandras getting stuck in your hand, and this was also the problem back in the days with the Invoke, because if you have a lot of Invoke stuck in your hand and you don't even have mana to cast it, well, that's a dead card, and you're probably going to lose that game. And then finally, 2 Light of the Nights. Light of the Nights is fantastic for burning our opponent, but what's really crazy is the 4 mana flashback, right? This is remove X loyalty counter from a Planeswalker, and then we can use that ability again. Well, guess what? Chandra actually has a lot of loyalty ability, or loyalty counters, right? So, comes into play with 5, +2, now it's 7. And then we can immediately remove 4 to Flashback Light of the Night, if we, or not 4, sorry, immediately remove 6 for Flashback. And if we remove 6 It copies it because Chandra just came into play, and that's 12 damage. That's crazy, right? Play Chandra, does 12 damage to our opponent. I think they're gonna die soon. Alright, and in the land base, we are pretty mana heavy, so we're gonna have 26 lands in the deck, 10 swamps, 1 mountain. We're mostly black, only a few splashes of red, but we do need red, so we have 1 mountain, 1 Takenuma, 1 Sokuzen, those are the basics. But we have 4 Blackcleave Cliffs, 4 Haunted Ridge, 4 Sulfurous Springs, so we're probably not gonna miss out on the red, right? The most we're gonna need is 2 red, because once we cast Chandra, we would be able to add 2 mana of any color, and we can use that to add red, and then we're good. The great part about Chandra's mana is that there's no restriction. It just says 2 mana of any color, of any combination. There is no, oh, you gotta cast creature spell with it, you gotta cast instant sorcery with it. Wizards really want to make Chandra work, and she does. She is crazy good. We also have 1 Mire in case our opponent's mono blue, and we're kind of drawn out, and they're removing everything we play. Well, Mire is gonna slowly bleed them out. Alright, so that is the whole deck. And let's go try it out. Let's see. Azorius. That's not what we played. We don't play Rakdos now. Also, I have a quest for black and red spell, so this is perfect. To show only cards from Lord of the Ring, Tales of Middle-earth, play actual paper magic. Alright, we're ready to play Sakas. Is our opponent telling us he's a sucker? Alright, we're going to go first, which is pretty good, but our first play is a 4-drop. Good 4-drop, but still a 4-drop. I don't know if I can keep this hand, but Sheoldred's pretty good, you know? Light of the Night is a good removal. Whatever they play, we can kind of remove it. Hopefully we drop better cards than lands, but I'm going to keep. And I'm going to play a Haunted Ridge turn 1, just so that it will be good enough. Alright, well, we draw a land, so it's not good enough. I guess we'll just light it up. Hopefully we get a better draw than another land. Mono black, huh? Mono black is interesting. Because their deck's just full of removal at this point. We can always flashback later than... oh, we can. X can't be 0. Oh, Liliana.
Nobody knows, Dominic. We all have things we'd rather forget.
Well, with Liliana on the board, we're just gonna have a bad time now. It's gonna make us sacrifice the Archfiend, which I think I'm okay with it. If he makes it discard, then we're gonna be in trouble. It's probably going to be sacrificed. But Liliana's going to get a 3-for-1 here.
Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
I think they all had to leave. Yeah, it's not a great hand that we kept. to be fair, right? It's a pretty bad hand. Alright, so we can play Cut Down on the memory. And then the Graveyard Trespassers. Well, this Liliana's going to make us discard. So, we can play Sheoldred, Liliana's make us sacrifice it, and then there's 2 big things on the board. That's not good either. And then the Graveyard Trespasser will just eat our Sheoldred. They have a pile on? Wow.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Gotta kill it. Gotta kill it. I think we just lost. Even though we went first, there's a lot of good cards on their side and not enough on our side. We can play this, but it's not a good enough card. And we're behind on Tempo. The best card we can draw is Chandra, and we don't even have enough mana to play it. So, it's too bad. That's not a good use. But okay. don't think it matters. Liliana's too oppressive once you fall behind on Tempo. Because everything comes in and just gets killed by Liliana. And then we're just gonna die. So yeah, let's not play this out. I think the police agrees. That was an unfortunate first game. Now, should I have mulliganed that hand? Honestly, I don't think I would have been able to fight against a Liliana. Maybe unless I mulled hard into a Bloodtithe Harvester. And I really needed that because otherwise there is no destroying a Liliana in this deck. Rezmalek. Alright, this time we have not enough lands. Still 2 Archfiend. So, do we mulligan this hand? We got go for the throw, Graveyard Trespasser, right? It will look dumb if we mulligan it, but it will look even dumber when we don't draw another land. Which we will need to in the next 2 draws. They're red. They're gonna face the Kakuzan. Alright, we draw land number 3, so this will be fun. Felden. No Felden. Can we draw land number 4? Not yet. No Felden, please. Swift Sphere? Okay. He's gonna Lightning Strike? Yep. Can we get land number 4? We do not. I can burn off the Swift Sphere, or I could play the Bloodtithe Harvester. I think it's a little bit better to play the Harvester. It does require them to do something about it this turn. Burn it off, potentially. And I think I'm going to pitch Archfiend, because I need to draw a land soon. And there it is. X can't be 0. X can be 0 right now, just not later. They're using all of their burn spells right now, which is good for us. It might look like we're at 10, but the good part of this, we have Sheoldred. So he wants to deal damage. I'm not going to block. Maybe he has a Lightning Strike or something. That's a land. Okay, so I don't have enough mana to play Graveyard Trespasser and then something else. There's no creature here. There's 1 creature here. So, still play it. He has 5. Oh, okay. I think I might have to remove this. No attacks. So this is gonna be extra damage. Alright, so that's Lightning Strike. I was, they're 1 away from 5 mana, so if they had the adversary, they can recast Lightning Strike from their graveyard. And that might be a bit scary. This is a 4/4. So, 4/4s are something. No attacks. Well. If you're not gonna attack, I can burn off an Etching. Or I can play an Archfiend. But if I play an Archfiend, what is gonna happen? So, I would have 3 turns of attacking with a 6/6. That's pretty good. Now do I want to light up the 9? It will flip to daytime, so this will turn into a 3/3. But it will remove one of these creatures. I'm not targeting the Swift Sphere because if that's an instant, it would just survive. There's no protecting an Etching, so it will just die. Oh, it also takes 2 for that. I forgot Archery has other abilities. Funny. Alright, so do I want them to exile two cards from graveyards? Yes. Because it will be a 3/3 next turn, and it's not as good as gaining 2 life. Or gaining 1 life. He's not going to block. Oh, he can't even block and destroy it because it has ward. So, does he? Okay. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Stoke the flames on what? Me? Okay, but you're still down to only 1 creature. Or 2 creatures and 1 card. That's what I meant to say. And it's a land. Good game. Mono red. No respect for mono red. Terrible blocks all around. Yeah, you want to see how someone is bad at playing Magic? Well, I should say it. You want to see how someone playing mono red is bad at Magic? Just ask them to block. It's something that they never experienced before, and they don't know how to do it. See, if he didn't block there, he could have attacked with Stoke the Flame, have 2 2/3s and a 2/2, and if he top decked anything that's not useless, it might have been useful. But yeah, instead he just gave away his whole win. Lexicon, opponent goes first, but we do have 3 lands and removal and Graveyard Trespasser and Archfiend. So we don't get to go first, but we got a way better hand this time. Let's see if it works. It really depends on what our opponent is. But I'm going to keep this hand. Something about the best of 1 metagame is that you never know your opponent's brain. So the mulliganing is going to be all weird. Alright, well, he's got a forest. Never seen that before in my life. Alright, he's Golgari, never mind. He's just going to try to Fight Club me. Bushwhack. So instead of playing anything, our opponent's just going to get a land. Not a very good card, but here's what is a very good card. Good old Bloodtithe Harvester. Alright, well, I don't know why there was such a hold up on that. You got the cut down. If they Fight Club us, we probably still lose, honestly, because we only have 1 removal and we gotta use it every turn. Now, the question is, do we trespass the graveyard? And the answer is always yes. In fact, we're going to trespass our own graveyard. Well, the blood tokens are going to be useful to pitch these cutdowns if they never hit anything. Having 2 in our hands, definitely dead cards. So, we'll see what happens. It's giving me nighttime. Nighttime is the right time. Does he have anything to play? He does not have anything to play. Pitch our own cut down. Hopefully get a 4th land. Maybe. He has Takenuma. Okay, well, you can put that back in your hand, I guess. There is 4th land. They only have 4 lands, so... It's a ramp deck, maybe? With invasion, yeah. To breach. Ramp into breach, that's the idea. What are they gonna do? They gotta ramp this turn, right? If they don't, they're just gonna fall way too far behind. And we have Archfiend, so they have to play something too. Huh. It's interesting. Did we say hi? We did say hi. I don't want to BM him, but he is taking a long time. I commend him for playing a different deck, so I don't want to BM him for that. But I do want to BM people who take forever for their turn. At least I think he's thinking. Look at those cards. Whee! Alright, the Titan is pretty good. I don't know how I'm gonna stop the Titan. But he needs to be able to cast it on turn 7. So he's thinking about maybe ramping versus removing my creatures. Or maybe he just gave up. No, he's still highlighting his cards. Maybe he's salty and looking through his cards and shouting at the computer. I do that all the time. So, alright, he's marching for 4. Discard a card. Maybe it's a Reanimator deck. Not a Reanimator. Do I want to pitch my cut down? Yes. Seems to be a dead card. Chandra. A land. This is going to come in for 5 damage, if nothing else. Could be something else too. Makes it even better. Oh, he's almost at the Titan. Oh, a Ren. Free folk with reach. He has another thing to play. Bushwhack. Alright. Guess I didn't need to kill his Ren, he killed himself. Alright, this is bad. Just removal, 1 extra land away from Chandra? No. Wanted to attack. Alright, he's 1 land into Titan. Does he draw his land? I'm 1 land into Chandra too, so it's fair game for both of us. The only problem is I'm not really sure if I would play Chandra. Kind of have to hold up the removal for Titan, and Chandra's not going to be able to remove Titan. Well, actually, Chandra can remove Titan, because I can double remove, and then double remove means that it goes over the shield. Well, if he's going to rope every turn, he's going to lose all my respect for him. And I'm going to start BMing him. Yeah, these are a series of questionable draws. They're not bad. Sometimes these are all the draws I want. Shakedown heavy, so they are a fight club deck. Well, guess we're just gonna do this. I know you're 1 mana and off. I'm 1 mana and off too, so don't feel too bad. Lexicon. I hope you look through your lexicon and find out that roping is not good manner. He ropes so long the music cut out, so I'm gonna start singing and fill in the music. Da 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 da. Oh no, it came back. Yeah, that bears how I feel right now. Come on. You have like 1 card. Alright, play your Titan. I mean, I don't have counter spells. What is he gonna do? Rhino? Rhino and Shield. That's usually what they do. Rhino and 5 life. You gonna target me? Okay, maybe they're playing on their phone. It's very hard to target. I'm guessing it's that, because they're roping on very simple turns. And I'm only on 5 lands. Just 1 more land and Chandra can do his stuff, but nope, 5 lands. Alright, get that out here. Did he nice himself? I got no place. Yeah, I got no place, so let's get rid of this. So I can attack. That's funny. He niced himself. Did he top deck another Titan? That would be pretty good. I used up a lot of value against his Titan. 2 for 1. Invasion of Zendikar. I'm okay with that. That just lands. Oh god, he's gonna search for 2 lands. This is gonna take a year. Alright, so everybody, let's talk about his lands. This is from Dominaria United. And you might think, hey, that's a cool looking 4R land. I'm gonna beg to differ. It's not that the lands are not cool. Number one, I do have a problem with it because all the stained glass lands look exactly the same. It's just, oh, there's a mana symbol in the middle and there's some stained glass around it. That's, you know, I'm not saying it's lame, it's just personal choice. But what I want to talk about is the fact that these lands, these 4R land used to be worth so much. Everybody loved it, but now they're just kind of iffy because they keep releasing 4R lands. Alright, just exile 5 cards for nothing. Take 3. Alright, 5 cards for nothing. Sheoldred. That's nice. Those are all the lands too. Do they have Terra Thunder? Are they reading Chandra? Oh god. Okay, let me keep talking about the lands then. Yeah, these non-basic lands, they used to be so worthwhile, and they're so good, but now there's so many of them that people stop caring. So these non-basic, or 4R lands, not non-basic, these basic 4R lands are worth as much as regular basic lands, which is worth less. Not worth less. Worthless. That's a better way of saying it, because they are. All the 4R lands are worthless, other than the unhinged ones, way back in the day. Alright, so, do we have lethal? I think we have lethal. Alright, they take 7. They take 5. Just one target's good enough. And then you don't have a draw, so there you go. Bye-bye! Did you enjoy roping every turn into dying? Alright, so let's talk about the Rakdos deck, because it's good. It's a good deck. It's got us wins. What else I can say about that? I can't complain about getting wins, right? And the deck itself, well, it's got a very good tempo. Chandra did her thing. Chandra did the 5 damage to close out the game for us, which I thought is what it was for, honestly. And then Archfiend of the Dross. It's a great card. When I first saw it, I thought it was a terrible card because it's a card that says you lose the game. How many people like that card, right? But, you know, what's funny about it is it actually closed out the game a lot faster than you losing the game. Something that to keep in mind is that this card will be horrendous if the meta kind of shifts. And I have seen those decks before, but not as much. But if the meta ever shifts into a proliferate style, oh, this card is going to be so bad. Because our opponent can... this is removal oil count. Never mind, not the proliferate, the battle one. The one that removes counters. What's that called? Render inert? Yeah. 5 counters from target permanent. So I slam this, they render inert, and then I start crying because I just died. So that's the time where the Archfiend is something to be a little bit worried about, but other than that, I don't see that happening. The battle is just kind of a dud. People play battles, don't really play a whole deck around battles, so Archfiend and Dross will still shine, because it's a 4 mana 6/6, and you attack for 3 turns, your opponent's almost dead, and anything that can do 2 damage, 2 triggers on a Graveyard Trespasser, light up the night for just 2 damage, casting Chandra, you can get 2 damage off of that. So, yeah, you can probably kill your opponent a lot faster than Archfiend and Dross if he was on his own. And he's never on his own. That's what makes Rakdos so strong. Every card itself are the good stuff cards. And then when you kind of combine them together, it's just, there's almost no dead draws. And when we did have dead draws that game, the dead draws would go for the throat. And we were able to use that to still win, right? And that is why Rakdos Tempo, very good deck. I'm pretty sure it's still top tier. Even with all the ban cards, this deck is still going to outshine most decks, and it has what it takes to go toe-to-toe against the big boys. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.